TOMz.
The wait is finally over, but fair to TOMz sifikile ke. So hlala phansi ninethezeke right here on SABC 1 Mzansi for sure. With of course myself, your boy Sia, and your boy Caddy.
Most definitely, Bafethu, shout out to you for watching. Our topic at Namkasi is very interesting. Niaz good Bafethu Namkabed, we always discover is into that blow our minds away. Who knew a tiny box like this can store so much information?
That's exactly what happens to me when I think about the universe. I mean, there's just so much out there in space.
And there's so much that needs to be discovered. That's in Bafethu. Let's see what we have on today's episode.
Check out what's coming up on today's episode of TOMz. Umandla Maseko was just an ordinary guy obese elahle ithemba until angenela umncintiswano that actually changed his life. We know space is out there, but how exactly do you know when you've reached it? See some of the most amazing space discoveries that were made in the past 3 years? Will ordinary folks like you and I ever get to go to space? I wonder. And do not let anything hold you back from finding the answers to your questions. And do you think it's possible to reach the edge of the universe? We'll find out. Habash. I got my pets in enjoy the TOMz telling party the very best when it comes to edutainment. Now on Facebook, now go Twitter, do you believe in horoscopes? I hope I'm saying that correctly. Yes, I do believe in horoscopes because everything I read on there actually does happen. Very, very nice. Because pretty Manswane. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Once again, I know I actually don't because I ain't guys keep it up. And I will keep your comments coming in on Facebook and on Twitter, facebook.com/TOMz. On Twitter, we are simply at TOMz_SABC_1.
Well, it's a Kubang Road show here. Tonight, it's a Meridian. It's Kulumang. Sky is not the limit. Next to me is a young lady. How are you?
Fine.
You good?
Yes.
What's your name?
Samantha.
Okay, I want to know what's an astronaut?
Is the person who goes to space.
An astronaut is people who discover things in space.
An astronaut is a person who goes out to space to find out what kinds of planets are there and different types of soils and all sorts of those.
And where do astronauts train themselves to go to space?
In NASA.
In the compound.
Where?
In NASA.
NASA. I want to know, astronauts, where do they live?
At their homes.
And then when they go to space?
At NASA.
So they've got houses there?
I think so.
You think so?
They also have homes, but usually they go to space.
I want to know, what other discoveries have they found in space? I'm an astronaut.
Moon rocks, other planets.
They go with the rocket.
With an airplane?
Rocket.
Oh, rocket.
Space rocket.
So have you ever wondered where you fit in the universe? Well, this video is an idea. Check this out.
Now that's the Earth and the Moon. Earth is where you live. Now when we zoom out further from the Earth into space, we see that the Earth has its place around the other planets, all rotating around the Sun. As we go further out, we find the dwarf planets outside our solar system and then the place of our solar system in the inner Oort cloud. And when we go even more far away, we have to start measuring in light years. Light years are used to measure great distances, which are just too big for our normal ways of measuring. Now to give you an idea, 1 light year is about 9 trillion kilometers far. Now as we reach out into the universe, we see that our Earth is no longer even visible and that the universe is big beyond compare. Now in 2014, the Rosetta became the first spacecraft ever to land on Comet, allowing scientists to find out what these space travelers are actually made up of. Now in the same year, astronauts found a planet very similar to Earth in another solar system and dubbed it Earth's cousin. Now in 2015, scientists discovered that there is actually salty water flowing on Mars. And one of the planet's certain moons has an underground ocean which makes it spurt water from its surface.
But sometimes when we look into the night sky, we shooting stars and we make wishes. Is that? Yes, I mean,
so one stars go to kid. Just a meteoroid entering the Earth's atmosphere, burning out and actually becoming a meteor.
Really?
Yeah.
So actually shooting star?
Nah.
So we mustn't wish when we see it. That's in Bafethu. Tell us what you think about this on our Facebook and Twitter. We're going to take a short ad break. We'll be back.
TOMz. TOMz.
sometimes when my ad break takes so long. Not to be traveling to the moon and back.
I know, right?
Otherwise, Buffets, welcome back. You guys still tuned in to TOMz. And on today's episode, we are going out of space. Well, we're not talking about the moon and the planet. We're talking about something completely different.
And to top it off, Buffets, it was super cool. And before he actually took a leap of his life. Check this out. Yeah.
Are we live? Are we live? We're live. Running the streets of Pretoria, touchdown Mabopane. Today's mission is out of this world, literally. For the first time, we're gonna meet South Africa's black Afronauts. I don't know about you, but I'm excited about this mission. Reporting from TOMz, this is Caddy.
Okay, my name is Mandla Maseko, also known as the Afronaut, and I will be the first black South African in space. How did I come to become an astronaut? Well, it was through a competition that was running on radio. It was run by Apollo Space Academy.
So here's the deal. You are about to see the craziest international competition.
An adventure that's out of this world.
Alors vont-ils décrocher leur ticket pour l'espace?
To go into space.
Yes, actual space.
Hi everyone.
I want to go to space.
Space. How did it all start?
All right, we were at home, you know, having no plan whatsoever. And I had this competition on radio that said they want people to go into space.
Yeah.
And I had to send a picture of myself jumping from anywhere on a show called The Touchdown on Metro FM.
Okay.
They called me back and we were chosen to become top 30 South Africans that were going to a local space camp that was held in Free State, Paris. So we did vigorous challenges like your 10,000 feet skydiving above ground level. And then from then onwards, we did what we call the vomit comet.
Okay.
Then from top 30, we were downsized to top 6. Top 6 did what we call plane stand. You get in a plane, it goes up, it does all these maneuvers. And then the minute you come down, you ride an aptitude test.
Okay.
And from that top 6, I made it to the top 3 that was going to represent South Africa at the Global Space Camp that was held in Orlando, Florida, USA.
Okay.
I can't believe I made it to the last 3. Orlando, Florida, I'll be seeing soon.
23 winners will go to space. They'll become official astronauts.
When you got there, we did vigorous challenges like your zero-G flight, your air combat jet. We even had to do G4 simulator, construct rockets as well. And out of 109 people, I made it to the top 23 people that will be launching into space, making me the first and only African to go to space.
Manlinkosi Maseko of South Africa. Congratulations to all of you.
That's exciting.
It is.
So, Ngele, how does it feel we are Ekas, obviously, and you're gonna go to space?
I mean, it's amazing, bro. I mean, look around you, bro, and it's the dusty streets of Mabopane. For the fact you're eating Pumekasi and then I'm doing all these amazing things, it just goes to show that it doesn't matter where you come from. What matters is where you're going. Yes.
When they say an out-of-body experience, you know, just by picturing it happening, you know, my body ignites.
Okay, so before Linda Vitala,
Yeah.
you had to do a video, jump somewhere. Okay, so Mandla, this is the wall.
This is the wall. What happened is that I had to do it 3 times. Reason being that the phone being 70s back then. But to jump, then couldn't capture. So that was wrong for me. So I had to do it 3 times, and the 3rd time I got it right.
Now, all my astronauts as a space, they often have to work outside of their spacecraft. Now, this is called a spacewalk or an EVA, where EVA stands for extravehicular activity. Now, they do this to fix things in space without having to bring it back to Earth to fix. They also do experiments in space to see how different things actually react when out there in the open. Now, because it's such a different environment, our astronauts have to train specifically for these walks. They often have to do this underwater and sometimes need to spend more than 7 hours underwater at a time. Yo. Like the end?
Yeah.
The Earth is literally huge, humongous, like unimaginably huge.
Okay.
So maybe
not.
Maybe not.
Yazin, manje sizoya ku ad break basibuya sizodigeta lo taba. Don't go anywhere.
TOMz. TOMz.
Welcome back to TOMz, watching SABC One. I'm Zanzi for Shizzle.
Most definitely, but first, you know how hard it is to imagine how big the universe is because we are just tiny specks. But here on TOMz, it's tiny zinto, so we never stop exploring.
Definitely, and that is why so is it actually possible to reach the edge of the universe. Before we get into that, let's go see what's got the legend yet. It's such party. Bang!
Okay, so you study Shava manje.
Now I'm currently doing my ground school South African Air Force. Basically, ground school is subjects that you need to study and pass before you can start flying. So yeah, I'm doing your meteorology, your principles of flight, a whole lot of things that it has to do with aerobatics, aeronautics, and flying in terms of aviation.
Okay, so you got to mention the pilots. I thought you wanted to be an astronaut. How does that come about?
Yes, bro. I'm a pilot as well. The opportunity opened doors for me as well. You know, I was able to obtain sponsorship from Vugan Aviation, and I studied piloting a South African Flight Training Academy. And today, as we speak, I'm a private pilot. And with that, also, I was fortunate enough to be recruited by the South African Air Force. So I'm currently doing my ground school in the Air Force to become a pilot in the Air Force. Also, I was able to start a CSI campaign called Sky is Not the Limit, whereby I have partnered Nabo Department of Science and Technology, South African National Space Agency, Innovation Hub, to mention but a few, whereby makwenzakala ukuthi bane space awareness or space outreach, bayang invite ukuthi ngizoba speaker of the day or basically be the one who inspires and motivates the kids.
Ufuna ukuba pilot ngabe astronaut at the same time.
Ngithatha zonke lezi zinto ngiphume kazi thatha kuphela.
So ngitshele ke nge-experience from ukusuka la endlini, from the announcement until top 3.
Yeah, I was sitting on this couch, you know, Manglalili radio, when the competition came on.
So here's the deal. X is running the craziest international competition where one lucky person will win themselves a trip into space. Yes, you heard me correctly. Actual space.
And, you know, at that point, not having any source of income or not having any way of getting a job, you know, you had to be in the right state of mind to be able to respond to such competitions, you know.
When you are
did you ever think that you were going to make it?
So the one thing you find at an early age is that you learn how to face things head on. So yeah,
okay, cool. So you were gone for so long, right? Umdeni, how did they feel about this whole experience? It's issue via and you're gonna go to space.
But they knew whatever it is, it might have a big impact, not only in but also in South Africa as a whole. So they were rooting for me all the way.
So my figure did you guys like get like spacesuits or did you what in Tole?
We got a jumpsuit. The first one a cadet in training, and then a cadet basically is someone who's being selected to become an astronaut. And once you get to obtain that title, then you are becoming an astronaut in training. Then you get another jumpsuit. So yeah, and then this one, you wear it, Maui astronaut in training. Yes.
So when is someone officially in space? Now, about 100 kilometers off the surface of the ocean, there is what astronauts call the Kármán line. Now, this represents the boundary between the Earth's atmosphere and outer space. Now this height was decided upon because at this point the air is too thin to support flight, meaning if you want to fly at that height you'd have to go a lot faster. The Earth's atmosphere does not suddenly end anywhere, it thins out the higher you go up until it is no more.
Right now I'm scared, but even if I don't win, when you sit back and reflect, you'd say I went up against the best, you know.
You know, at some point I felt like this thing is not meant for me. Reason being, as black people, we don't think such opportunities are for us. You know, I went there with a black guy and an Indian guy, and Mautia Peggy's situation. Astronauts are not black, bruh. It's like that, you know. And I knew from that moment on, if I were to get this opportunity, it will change in mindset, and it will also some way, somehow inspire and motivate those kids, you know, and I think I'm doing that.
Okay, so where in space are you going? Like, is there an address lania corner or send bonile lania corner?
My flight is called a suborbital flight. Suborbital, basically a full orbit. It's when you okay, there's Mike, yeah. This is the Earth, yeah. And then we try wonke, so that's a full orbit. Okay. But a suborbit, you go up, you are drivers, you are foot. So that's a suborbit. My flight takes up to an hour. It takes 6 minutes to get into space. It's gonna shoot from runway, and then it travels vertically like that. And then you see it has 4 rocket engines. And then once it gets there, at an altitude of about 556 kilometers above ground level, and then the engine switch off. That's when you've reached what we call an apogee, and then it starts floating. Then it goes, and if you are inside, then you start now feeling 0G, weightlessness, no gravity, nothing. And then after spending some few minutes looking out the window, looking at this big round ball, then it comes back for the re-entry, then the glide, and then it lands on a runway like a normal plane. That is the future that we're going to now. You know, back in the days, people used to travel with boats for 5, 6, 7 days. Now we fly for like 4 hours or 20-something hours to go to the US. Yeah, now we're gonna go through this. If you wanna go to the US via space, 2 hours in the US. Hi, honey, I'm coming now. Take off from South Africa, you get there. That's where we're going. Yeah.
There you have it, Buffets. What an inspirational story. Your circumstances do not determine where you are going. Black child, continue to dream. Reporting from TOMZ, and this is Mission Accomplished.
Hi guys, my friends, TOMZ now good to information vakashela ezikoleni zenu lapha ekhaya. If uyayibona kumabonakude wakho, you can go into our Facebook and Twitter pages. Uyakhona phela uyitheke, uyicommentele yonke leyo yinto. Noma ke uma usafuna TOMZ esikoleni sakho, then all you have to do is simply drop us an email on tomz@sabc.co.za. For now though, let's see what went down.
But my gents, Nickland, Nimnand, who wants to go to space, Lab of it?
All of us.
You guys want to go to space?
Yeah.
Well, Niaz go to this cat, yeah. But I've got something to tell you. You actually can go to space today. Yeah. Well, guys, singing Jelly, there's an app, ne? Ibiza, the Amazing Universe Facts app. So, when you go to app, you download it. Space. You guys are gonna feel like you're in space. You can see what's going on, what's the temperature in journey, and everything you need to know. What is kipani that is space? How dope is that?
So dope.
It's fresh.
Yeah.
Ngitshele nabangani benu ukuthi yo boy izolo bangise space but kanjani ngitshela ukuthi akhona le app ntwana ngibhekile angitshengise ukuthi space kunjani. Away guys, I'll see you guys later, ne? Don't forget, cheers. Away. Okay, seriously, Bafets, I've never wanted to be in a space rocket and fly into space as much as I do right now. Could imagine? Let's go and check out what's happening and where's the future. Check this out.
Now, my researchers are considering collecting solar power in space to be used on Earth. And my scientists are planning a human outpost where people can live for long periods of time on the moon. Now, there is a race to reach Mars first with human footsteps predicted to happen by 2030. Now, some believe that cures for certain diseases lie in the minerals of outer space. And soon, abantu who are not astronauts or qualified will be able to go on space flights. How big is this universe of ours? Is it actually possible to actually reach the edge of it? Something to talk about.
The visible universe consists of all kinds of matter and galaxies that can be seen from la emhlabeni. We have been able to detect light from 14 billion light years away. Kodwa, that means it took 14 billion light years for the light to reach us. Because the universe is expanding, it means that it might as well have kept growing for all that time. So by the time the light of the perceived edge reaches us, it was already much further away. So the universe is not only getting bigger, it's getting bigger at a faster rate than before. So even if you started traveling at a speed that will get you there in a second, you would find that the edge has already moved on. So, no, we can't reach the edge of the universe. Kodwa, that is good news because it means that there is so much more for us to discover in it. Aha mfethu TOMz iniphathele indaba ezimnandi khona lapha emakhaya.
Njalo kayi beshane yazi sinombele sethanda ukuphindisa na ngokufika ixesha lokhu.
So wena lapha ekhaya ufuna idea episode ufuna uyibona khona la ku TOMz, all you have to do is
send us the idea Bafethu, and if it's fresh and brilliant we'll make it a TOMz official episode khona la ku SABC 1.
And not only that, kaloku beshane you get a goodie bag as well as keep us up TOMz 1.
So wena lapha ekhaya all you have to do is send through your ideas on Facebook, which is facebook.com/TOMz. On Twitter we are simply @TOMz_SABC_1. Ake bafethu uhlelo lethu livala kanjalo sesifike emaphethelweni ethu wanamhlanje. Hey, sengifune kakhulu na kid. I don't know about you though.
Yo, boy, I'm always learning something new every day. Right. And bafethu, we hope you guys are also learning something each and every day. Kodwa ningakhohlwa ukusiphezela ama questions on Facebook and on Twitter. Ningakhohlwa to get more information on our website at www.tomz.co.za. Kodwa for now, ngithi mina adios.
Ciao. Check out what's coming up on the next episode of TOMz. A passion that Jerry for Ilwane was much bigger than he realized. And ufundisa abantu abasha on the importance of animal care. Ilwane were not made to live in cages. So like about what happens when they do. Learning Dimayako by making sure you have the right tools to do what is necessary. So like about why we are so grateful that animal shelters do exist. We'll go TOMz every Monday and Tuesday at 4 p.m. Kolalago SABC 1 in Zanzi, for sure.